Dean Norris, aka Hank Schrader, aka Jesus Christ Marie, they're not rocks, they're minerals, is an actor and a connoisseur of Twitter GIFs. But we're not here to critique his acting methods. We're here to take a look at the Dean Norris reaction meme and determine whether or not it's fresh, whether or not it's normie, whether or not it's spicy, and most importantly, whether or not it passes the vibe check. I'm your host, SumitoMedia, and you're watching Meme Critique. Now sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Hey, what's going on? Can I get a glass of Raid Shadow Legends? Raid Shadow Legends, the #1 RPG in the US? Absolutely. We just got a shipment in. They just turned 2 years old. Let me pour you a glass. Oh man, this stuff's delicious. You can really taste the 16 different classes you can pick from. What do I owe you for the glass? Absolutely. It is free to download. What? You're telling me I can download the #1 RPG in the US for free using the link in the description? So I don't need to spend any money on this? Nope. Never said you wouldn't spend money on it. I just said it's free to download.
Raid Shadow Legends. Download for free and then sell your house.
Raid Shadow Legends. I know your whole story, sucker. You might have started as a small gaming company, but now you got over 1 million daily active players. Come August 14th, it's you, me, and the brand new Doom Tower. And I'm not going easy on a champion that can fit in my pocket. I know you might have just turned 2 years old, but come August 14th, you're getting in the. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to tune in August 14th to watch Jotan the Barbarian face off against Sumito the YouTuber in a grand battle for 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards. Or you could just download Raid Shadow Legends for free using the link in the description and receive all of these, including Jotan the Barbarian.
Raid Shadow Legends. It's literally free.
Transition. So what is the Dean Norris reaction meme? Basically, Dean Norris is an actor who, according to KnowYourMeme.com, was born in August of I don't care. I don't care about any of that. The only thing that you guys know Dean Norris from is either playing Hank Schrader on Breaking Bad, or B, randomly tweeting out sex gifs. Not like gifs of people having sex, like the word sex gifs. Like, he wanted to search up sex gifs one day because he was bored, and instead accidentally tweeted sex gifs, which is just like the most boomer thing I've heard of anybody doing unironically in a very long time. We'll get back to the sex gifs later. The main thing you need to know for this meme is in 2014, a photographer took some dramatized photos of Dean Norris, which he then posted to his Twitter, and now, for some reason, 7 years later, they are now being used in the meme economy. So let's see if they're fresh. Dean Norris reaction meme. So on the initial impression of this thing, right? You want to take a look at the fact that he's smiling and the fact that he's frowning, and you want to just compare it to the Drake yes no meme, right? You want to just look at it as another one thing good, one thing bad. Mario says, Luigi says, yes Drake, no Drake. Like, you want to compare it to that, and it basically is that meme. Like, there isn't any reason that you couldn't just use this meme like every other Drake meme that's ever been used. But for some reason, this meme has sort of got its own personality, despite it being so simple that it is basically just that Drake meme. I mean, the Drake meme doesn't have random crude humor the way that this one does. Some of these are literally just plays on words. Like, they're not even like memes or like I like this or I like that. It's literally just, hey, look, I can stick the word poop in shampoo. Despite that, however, they're still fun. Like, the Drake meme has been around for so long. The yes no meme has been along for so long that the fact that this is even moderately interesting to meme around with must mean that there must be something great going on with the creative minds behind it, and that's absolutely true. Factor in on top of that Dean Norris himself has been memeing these images, like not just the original images that he posted on his Twitter, but he's even been reposting memes that people have been making, some of them just manipulating his face, some of them joking about his character on Breaking Bad, and with the fact that that did not immediately kill the meme, the fact that the boomer-ass actor who accidentally tweeted sex gifs when he meant to incognito search sex gifs, memeing on a template that has his own face in it, didn't just immediately plummet it into the recesses of what Dogecoin is worth, means that this thing is fresh. It's fresh to death, bro. As a result, because of that, I'm giving this thing a 9 out of 10. It's about the highest score I could give a meme that just straight up has never existed before. That's really what would be a 10 out of 10. But this thing has truly proven that it is as fresh as a meme can be just based on that. Is it Normie? Now, I want to clarify that Normie does not necessarily mean simple or easy to use, right? It means like detrimental to the overall health of the thing, negative points of this thing as a whole. And yeah, it is simple, right? Yeah, it is basically, there isn't anything too much about the meme itself that sets it apart from any other meme, right? Like the Drake Yes No meme. But what it does have going for it is just the way that it's interpreted. The way that you see this meme used has a little bit more nuance to it. It's not just good thing, bad thing. The distastefulness that you receive upon reading the label of the frowning Hank is always a little bit unforeseen. It's always a little bit, I did not expect this to be the bad part of what's going on. You know, like take for example the version that is Overwatch porn versus Overwatch. You would think that if the porn of a thing is good, the game must be at least popular enough to be enjoyable, right? And yet no, it's the worst game that was ever made. And that might be surprising to some. That might be a newfound thing that you just heard, but it's the reality of the situation. And could it just be Drake? Oh, I like Overwatch porn. Drake, I don't like Overwatch. Sure, but something about Dean Norris's face here just really hits it home for me. It definitely is a little bit Normie, at least on the surface, at least on your immediate interpretation of how you think this thing should be used. You would think that it would be Normie. But in execution, in reality, in the way that it's actually being used in the meme ecosystem, people are actually giving it a little bit more spice, a little bit more personality. And I think that truly only comes from the fact that there is so much expression on Dean Norris's face here. The fact that Dean Norris himself has been sharing some of his favorite versions has sort of raised the bar of what people think is acceptable. And it's very easy to see the difference between a boring Dean Norris reaction where it's just good thing, bad thing, and a really well executed Dean Norris reaction meme where there's a little bit more subtlety to it, a little bit of wordplay, a little bit of unexpected surprise when you get to the second panel. And I think as a result of that, you have to be able to appreciate the sort of skill ceiling that there is to an otherwise very straightforward seeming meme. So overall, as far as norminess goes, I'm going to give this thing an 8 out of 10. Again, a higher score here means it's less normie. It is easy to understand, but I think that only works towards this thing. I feel like this is a solid score, man. I feel like this is as much subtlety as I've seen in such a simple meme. Is it spicy? We've already seen how this meme stacks up against its predecessors, what it brings new to the table, but in terms of just being a meme, does it do that well? And in terms of like the people who are using this meme, I would say that it's definitely been accepted by the community with open arms. Like you are seeing multiple fandoms use this meme, you are seeing video games, you are seeing not like artistic renditions of it at this moment from what I can see as of today, but you're seeing a few photoshopped images. You're seeing some that'll use a third panel. You're seeing some that'll make fun of like Roman emperors and video games and stuff like that. There's definitely variations to this meme that are more than just changing up the text, and that's definitely a reflection of different fandoms appreciating this template. I want more out of this meme, though. Like, I am, by all means, thoroughly impressed with the creativity that has been shown in this template so far, using nothing but the constraints of, here are the two images that you get, and I feel like people have been extremely expressive with that. But in terms of spiciness, like I'm not seeing animations, I'm not seeing the cartoon overlays where you randomly stick in like Sailor Moon. I haven't seen a single Neon Genesis Evangelion version of it yet. We haven't seen any satirical versions that are making fun of the template itself, you know what I mean? We haven't seen anybody replace it like Drake in the first panel, Hank in the second panel, you know what I mean? Like simple stuff that over the lifetime of this meme will probably get made. People are sort of focusing more on wordplay and just sort of like there's a lot of pee-pee poo-poo humor in this, which I feel like I don't typically talk about the reasons that I take points away from something. I just sort of explain why I don't bump it up more. But the toilet humor on this, the amount of yo shampoo, what about shampiss, huh? You know what I mean? What about pooping in the shower? Like that, I understand the comedy. I have to be able to appreciate it as a connoisseur of meme arts, but it's not my go-to style of comedy. I have to appreciate it from afar, and in this situation, in terms of spiciness, I feel like it absolutely takes away from it. So, as a result of that, I'm giving this thing a 5 out of 10 on the spicy scale. Like, it's middle of the road. I honestly think a 5 out of 10 is being relatively generous, again, with how simplistic this meme is, but I'm giving it credit for how creative people have been despite that. So I feel like a 5 out of 10 is a fair score. Does it pass the vibe check? And I think there's oh, my cat ears are falling off. I think there's actually, you know what? I'm going to switch into fast cat ear mode. There you go. Have a seizure, everybody. As far as the vibe check, as far as this thing, my overall feelings on this thing, I think it's absolutely being propelled into the meme culture by the involvement of the face of the meme itself, memeing alongside everyone else. Dean Norris sharing examples on his Twitter of a meme that is people throwing text on pictures that he shared on Twitter 7 years ago. It was a gamble, right? That this boomer ass actor held the future of this meme in his hands, and he could have just as easily done something stupid, made it super cringy. He could have, my lawyers will get in contact with you if you keep sharing these images of my face with poop cock written on it. Like, he could have done any of those things, and instead, for a lot of people, he legitimized it. The fact that he could share images of this and wasn't immediately roasted as a result, wasn't immediately cringe as a result, made it so that, you know, he like gave the green light to everybody. Like we've seen so many examples of people who have gotten super famous off of just one image on the internet, and it's like destroyed their life because they weren't ready for the fame. But the fact that Dean Norris is already an actor and he brings all this attention, like he's ready for it. There's no sweat off of his back, and it's got a bit of a nostalgic vibe to see Hank Schrader's face. Like, we all think back to watching Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad wasn't the best show ever, but for a little while it was all anybody was talking about, and it was before season 8 of Game of Thrones. You guys remember how good life was back then? Exactly. And I think it just takes me back to a better time before the final season of Game of Thrones. So, Dean Norris, we will now call you Meme Lordis. Dean Norris absolutely passes the vibe check, and as a result, I think the meme does too. Overall on the vibe check, I'm giving this thing a 15 out of 20. That gives it an overall score of 37 out of 50. That is a 74% for such a simple meme. I feel like a mid-C is right about where it belongs. If there were more examples that were really satirical of it, if there were more examples, if this was an easier meme to animate, if this was an easier meme for all the different mediums to sort of join in and meme together, it could have gotten more points on the spicy, and this could have been a high B for sure. Big shout out to Joshy's Baked, Captain CF Angie, Eric Seidel, Finbo Rose, Jack Winston, Laserpig, Paul Rohrbag, Regulator 9, Tristan Morgan, as well as the names that you see behind me as the Cash Money Meme Team over on Patreon. Also a big shout out to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks so much for helping with the hospital bill, boys. I truly do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're at the end of the video. You're probably subscribed, but if you're not, like, what? Hit the button. What's wrong with you? I'll catch you guys in next week's video. Ashpisu!